Let's talk about my training routine during my recovery. So first of all, why do I keep active? Why do I still keep teaching my classes? And why do I still try to keep a physical routine? First off, for the selfish reason is this. Because if I don't do like I said before, if I don't replace my previous healthy habits and routines with other healthy habits and routines, I will end up in the couch watching Netflix. Because I can honestly say, right after I left the hospital and I cannot train, what I really feel like is eating chocolate and chips all day, watch next Netflix and cry and feel miserable about myself. And to be honest, some people recommended to me already, Wim, you should take a week off, you should take it easy on yourself. And I do get the good-natured thing of the advice, although I believe it's bad advice. I have to be around positive people and I have to fix my routines and keep a healthy routine. That's the selfish part. So the selfish part. What is the altruistic part? So why I also want to keep a healthy routine? Because I want to lead by example. And this also is a selfish part of that. Because look, by leading by example, by keeping positive and show that you can still train even though you're injured in a limited way and show you want to get better, I believe it can inspire other people who are like in a slippery slope of always getting worse and worse and worse because of bad routines. I believe I can help those people by that. And also, I saw in the past how many members I had that all actually went out of training and never came back because they have an injury. And they take off 2 weeks, and 2 weeks become 3 weeks, and 4 weeks become 5 weeks, and so on and so on and so on. And I never see those people back. This is the first time in my life I'm going to be not rolling for more than 3 weeks. In the past, one time I took a vacation to Puerto Rico. That was one time I didn't train because before there was like almost no training there and I couldn't reach it. The second time was with either of my knees, so twice 3 weeks of meniscus. One time with a shoulder injury on this side. One time I took 2 weeks for my elbow, and now this shoulder, chest or whatever, this is gonna be more than 4 weeks. Yeah, so probably they give the estimate 4 months. I believe I can roll faster, very slow with smart people before that, but ultimately I'm not gonna take any risks. So what is my physical training right now? I always believe everything in the universe happens for a reason. I believe in the law of attraction and that everything happens for a reason. I do not believe in coincidences. So what I want to say with this, a few months ago, I saw one of the people I met, like through Globetrotters, Charles Harriott. I saw a video of his where he was doing like an exercise, sitting on his knees and leaning backwards with his head on the floor. It was on Instagram. And he told me he tagged knees over toes guy. So, okay, if you don't know him, I will tell a bit more. I saw his routine, said, very interesting. And I said, I'm also going to do this. But it didn't happen. I didn't do it for whatever reason. Then, I think 3 or 4 days before my injury happened on my shoulder, I saw the latest Joe Rogan podcast. I forget the guy's name, the guest, but it's knees over toes guy on Instagram. Basically, it's a whole routine for the legs. And I decided I'm going to do this. And then magically, or not magically, or coincidentally, or whatever you believe, the shoulder injury happened. Yeah. So now I'm only stuck with that routine. So I can tell you, my upper body will deteriorate a little bit. I'm going to keep it as limited as possible. But at very least, I'm doing now the knees over toes program. So I will put a link in the bottom. It's like a program. Part of it is the 0 week, where you only use the zero routine or whatever I call it, where you don't use any weights. I'm not going to show the weights, but you can perfectly well find like knees over toes program, knees over toes guy, 0 program, and do that. And that already is what I'm starting to do for my legs. What I also did is I started to tie, it's also one of his routines, I tied a belt around my waist and a belt through it, and I let one of my guys hold that belt, lay on his back, and I'm doing backward pulling like with a sleigh over the mat, like 10 times up and down, just to train my legs, to get stronger knees, and just to to burn some calories. What I'm still in between about right now, my physical coach recommended me to train unilateral, meaning I can still do like weightlifting on my right side, like shoulder presses, even like a bench press on one side. I'm a bit confused about it. He says if you train on one side, there is carryover to the other side as well. Although this side will improve more. But I would like to hear your thoughts about it. If any specialists about this, my kinesist told me not to do it. My physical coach told me yes to do it. Another kinesiologist told me it's a good idea, another person told me it's a bad idea, so I'm like really confused about it and I read conflicting views. So if any one of you has like some interesting reading material or some research about unilateral training during recovery, I would really be interested in that. Otherwise, so I train my legs as much as possible, my hips, I do my stretching still, I do my yoga as much as possible, and I do my Wim Hof breathing and my cold showers. I'm not taking cold dips in the lake for now, not in my barrel, because it might be dangerous if I cannot get up or in a reflex I catch myself. But I try to at least keep the cold shower, because it increases the blood flow and it also makes sure that, it's like putting ice. I just put ice on my whole body, and I believe it really helps, and for sure it helps my mind. That's what I'm doing physically for the moment. Also, I'm still teaching my classes. So why? Because I want to lead by example and I want to stay engaged in the mat, and it's a way for me to see if I can still teach and if I can improve just by watching and thinking about stuff instead of always feeling. On the other side, I'm not possible to roll, but what I can do, I can connect, like through my body, I can connect with other people and I can exchange some pressures. So for example, I can put my hook and demonstrate the hook and then go around and correct people. So even though I'm not rolling and I'm not taking any risks with myself, at least my muscles keep the habit of engaging, disengaging and connecting to people. And I believe that will help me also in the long run. In the next video, I will talk to you about my food routine, the way I eat to make the recovery better.